guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I've been seeing this brownie recipe in TikTok comments of very many videos, very different videos, like around 5 of them, because I just scroll through the comments and I'm like, oh, there's a brownie recipe. The next one is this is a brownie recipe. So I said I'm going to just take a risk and tell myself to try this recipe and see if it's an actual recipe for brownies, and hopefully it's a good one. If it's not, unfortunately I'd have wasted all these ingredients, but if it's a good one, wow, I'd have found another recipe to use. I normally use Natasha's kitchen's recipes. Hi, I'm Natasha from Natasha's Kitchen. You can look for her on YouTube and you'll find her on Instagram. I think she's also on TikTok, I'm not sure. But that's a recipe I use. But today we're going to try out a brownie recipe from TikTok comments. And I just pray that this goes well, honestly. Some of the ingredients are really... I'm not a baker, I'm not a professional baker, but I feel like these ingredients are not proportional because I'm using only a half cup of flour and a third cup of cocoa powder. Actually, because we're using cocoa powder and not chocolate, like melted chocolate, the brownies are going to be more cake-like. They're going to be like denser and not like fudgy. And with that, we're going to add a whole cup of sugar. And in my head, I'm like, maybe because the cocoa has no sugar, but like still, why do we need all that? But let's just see how all of this turns out, honestly. I'm just hoping that it's an amazing recipe. So we're going to add a half a cup of butter. You obviously have to start with your wet ingredients. So we add half a cup of butter, and then we're going to add in our 2 eggs, just to make sure it's not a bad egg. Oops, we got a shell. We got a shell. People who are saying it's not bad to have some crunch in your food. No. No. So 1 egg. And we add the other one. Why are big eggs so hard to crack? They're majestic. I need to wash my hands. The only time I necessarily have to wash my hands when cooking is when I crack eggs, because I get all the yolk on my hands and it's just not pleasing. I need to throw this away. So in goes our 2 eggs. Just whisk that together. And then we add in our 1 cup of sugar. I'm using white sugar. Yeah. You can also use a hand mixer instead of a whisk. I'm already tired. Just whisk until everything is well incorporated. I do have a hand mixer, but like I just thought it would be easy work. So we're going to add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I think my vanilla is over. And it's done. I'm just going to mix that in also. So our wet ingredients are mixed, and then we're going to add in our flour, our little flour. Okay, this thing does not come together well. I'm just going to try, and we mix that in. Should I be using a wooden spatula? Actually, a wooden spatula, wooden spoon. No. Okay, stock is a lot. And then we're going to add in the star of the show, cocoa powder. How much faith do I have in this brownie that I'm making, in this brownies that I'm making? Not that much, honestly. I I've literally just decided to go and pick. This guy is not even a chef. Okay, maybe he is, but like his content, because I went and looked at his page just to be sure of what I was doing. Although I'm still not sure. Okay, the mix is coming together really well. Oh my gosh. So he just has 2 videos actually. Just posts random content. So yeah. Oh my goodness, why am I excited? Why am I excited? Should I add chocolate chunks? Maybe. It smells so nice. Lesson. Okay, let me not jinx it. But lesson, trust. Okay, don't trust strangers. But when you're... I feel like I'm sweating so much. When your gut tells you to steal a recipe from the internet, just take it, okay? We're gonna taste this really. It tastes like chocolate cake. Actually, it tastes like chocolate cake. Should brownies taste like that? So I think, should I add chocolate chips or dark chocolate chunks? I think we'll do chocolate chunks. But that's your brownie batter. Already. Ah! Let's get cooking. So this guy didn't give what's this one? The temperature and the amount of time you need to cook the brownies for. And I'm using my air fryer to make matters worse, because air fryers, they work like ovens but not exactly like ovens. So I have parchment paper, my wooden spoon, scissors, a brush, and a baking tin tray, whatever. So I'm just going to, this is the butter I used to add here, but I'm just going to spread on each and every side of this baking tin. Why do we always spread butter, or why do we grease the pan if we're just going to put a parchment paper on top? I'm also the parchment paper normalistics. I don't normally cook with parchment paper, by the way. Have I ever baked with parchment paper? No, unless something like scalloped potatoes, which necessarily need parchment paper. If you don't know, yeah, they necessarily do. I'm just hoping that my video doesn't cut. Ah, I'm so happy. Okay. And how? Let me not even embarrass myself. You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged, so I realize it's hard to get courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you can make you feel so small. But I see the truth. I saw someone doing this. I don't know how to use parchment paper, honestly, and it's embarrassing. Okay, where are we from? No. I just cut off the extra. Didn't even see it from here. Is it actually meant to stick because I've applied butter? Meant to do it. Anyway, I don't want to have excess falling out. That's okay. So let's just pour in our butter. I feel like This shit bends. Anyways, am I also meant to spray some grease on the parchment? I am, right? I'm such a confused baker. Okay. Are we meant to? Anyway, because I don't want it to stick on the... We're using parchment paper so it doesn't stick to the pan, and we're using the tray, and we're using butter here so it doesn't stick to the parchment paper. Capiche? Capiche. If it sticks, don't what? Don't come. Okay, so I'm just going to pour it in. I hope it's actually not too much. I want to see what I do. Dun, 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 doom, doom. Do brownies rise? What if I'm actually making, but I didn't add baking powder, so this can't be cake. And it won't rise because I didn't add baking powder. Right? Okay, wait. I don't want this to make a mess, and I want to scrape out. Each and every. That sugar, I can imagine if I didn't put all that sugar, I would have been crying. Because that sugar is just perfect sweetness according to me. I don't know if you'd have substituted it with honey, if it would have worked. Because if you don't like sugar, I guess you can substitute it with honey. Because like the sweetness and... What am I even trying to say? I don't know. I think this can stay inside. I guess, maybe. So, we have our brownie to release our bubbles. And I think we're going to add in chocolate chunks. I'm honestly wondering how chocolate are using. Let me not even cook. Oh, I was telling you guys about how this person hasn't even measure the temperature and the timing. So I'm not using my mind. I saw some other chick saying she baked hers at 180 degrees for 30 minutes. I'm going to do mine for 20. I can't. I want shredded. No, I want chunks. Cutting this like a tomato. Okay, that's pretty. Because I just want to taste the authentic. Yeah. I don't want to tweak the recipe too much. So I'm just going to do kidogo shreds. They're not pretty, but that's enough. I'm ready to put it in the air fryer. I'm so excited. Let's move on to the air fryer. I'm not sure how I'll show you this brownies nicely, but we're just going to... Sorry for that noise. I'm just going to put them in the air fryer. I hope the parchment paper doesn't get burned. I'm so scared for the parchment paper. 180 for... Should we do 15? No. 18. Yeah. It's finally the moment of truth. The brownies have cooked and they've cooked for 18 minutes, and honestly, they're smelling so nice, and I feel like they're cooked. If they're not, they're just going to stay for a few more minutes. But I have a good feeling that they've cooked. Yeah, I'm gonna see my shorts. They're cooked! This thing is a cake. This thing is an actual cake. Okay, stop it. This is an actual cake. I'm excited. Of course I'm excited. Of course I'm excited. Of course. We're gonna let this just sit and rest for like 15 minutes. So that when we're cutting, it's gonna be nice and cool. That I can eat it immediately. So we're going to, like, you guys are too far. That's cool for 15 minutes. That's why you need a parchment paper. And the tray is as clean as it was before we cooked. It is. Let's get this. So exciting. Okay, that's why we buttered our parchment paper. Oops. So now it's time for the most important part. I'm so happy with how these brownies have come out. Honestly, I am impressed. Did I expect them to fail? Kinda. I wasn't like 100% sure that they'd be nice. But yo! Let's try them. Definitely very cakey, like they're so dense. They're so delicious. Again, what have we learned from this video? Trust TikTokers. Trust the recipes you see in the comments. And trust your gut. Like, yo. Yeah, I'm so happy. Honestly, I'm so happy. Whew. Anyways, with the air fryer, always you can use the same heat, less time, less heat, same time, less heat, more time. But honestly, I did it for, they've cooked for 18 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. So yeah, anyways, we've come to the end of this video. I'm so happy with the result of this video, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up if you've liked it. Comment more recipes that I should try out, especially sketchy ones that not everyone will trust, because people were like so fed up with this guy sharing the recipe. I was like, if you're so what's the word? If you're so comfortable sharing us the recipe, it has to be nice. And yo, I'm here to tell you guys that the recipe is amazing. So I hope you try the recipe out and you enjoy your brownies. It actually has a really nice crust. I'm excited. See you next Sunday. Bye. Bye. I'm just missing ice cream.